And this video again is about Mustang axle ratio change. Just if somebody did not watch the previous video, so this is a little bit of a background to the story. So from the factory, top gear ratio is 0.70, axle ratio 3.15, tires revs per mile 765. And knowing those three numbers, it's easy to calculate the RPM at 60 miles per hour. In this case 1686, and then you just do some simple math, and basically the important number is 75 miles per hour. This guy is doing 2108. This is top gear gear 6 with my manual transmission V6 Mustang. That's too low. At 2100 the car does not want to drive. It becomes, you know, droning. It needs you see, like 80 miles per hour, 2248. So that's what it needs, that 2250. And so I decided to change the axle ratio from 315. So option 1 was 355. And then notice what happened at 75 miles per hour. RPM goes to 2376 as opposed to 2108. So that means that at 75 miles per hour and then at 80, the car will be very, very you know, drivable. It's not going to slow down and drone, you know, like crazy, because 2100 is too low. I have to shift between 6 and 5 all the time. And so option 1 was 355. So you see at 75 it's 2376, and option 2 was 373, but then it goes a bit, you know, a bit too much, you know. And the difference at 80 miles per hour is 128. Some people would say that that's not too much, but I don't know. Sometimes if I go to US, I wanna drive at 90 miles an hour. You see, with 373, that's pretty much 3,000 RPM. Whereas here it's 2851. You know, just it's a bit better. I think 355, like everybody says, that 355 is an excellent ratio, you know, for both street and kind of like, you know, race type of driving. You know, it's the best balance between fuel economy and performance. You know, 373 is great if you're doing just, you know, racing on the track all the time, but I don't think it's a good ratio for everyday driving. And so what's happening is that it was a mistake, you know, to try to do this over the holidays. And the second mistake was I decided to go with a company that has expert in the name, you know, expert transmissions. I think if people want to put that in the name, something is wrong with the, you know, skill set. Anyway, I got all the part numbers from Ford, right? Whatever, everything I needed, and I stopped by at the shop and I gave them all the, you know, the printout with all the part numbers, my info. Nobody called me back, and the guy promised to give me a quote. Oh, we'll call you back. I will call you back as soon as possible. Nobody called me back for like 1.5 months, you know, and then I kind of like lost interest, and then finally I decided, no, I still want to do it. And I realized these guys didn't call me, so I drove to the shop myself. And I said, what happened? Oh, we're sorry. Somehow it got, you know, lost. Your papers got lost. All right. And so I tell him again now I'm talking to a different guy. I tell him what I want to accomplish here. And they give me a quote right there. And then they say, well, we can order the parts. Just tell them when you're ready. And the parts usually arrive like within 1 day. Okay. And then I went back, you know, to my place. I looked around. I thought about pricing. I said, I called them back. I said, okay, let's do it. Call me back when you have the parts. And so the parts arrived on the next day. I dropped off the car, and this was December 19th. December 19th, and they promised me they'll try their best to get the car ready before Christmas. And I called them the next day just to check how things were going, and they said, well, we have bad news, good news. Like, the car is on the hoist, wheels are off, the exhaust is off, pretty much is disassembled, almost to the molecular level, but we just discovered that some of the bearings we got from the supplier are wrong. So okay, so what's the big deal? Order the new bearings, right? And then I find out that the supplier is in Quebec, which is 6 hours away. And that should have told me that. I should have told them right there, just pack the car together and let me go. Why do you have a supplier so far away? Like, there's a bunch of suppliers in this area. I'm in Cambridge, Ontario, near Kitchener. Toronto is 1 hour away, but these guys are dealing with Quebec, you know. And anyway, by the time they realized the mistake was made, the supplier closed early before Christmas. They couldn't raise them, and then after Christmas, and I'm still walking around in this crazy weather, you know, between my hotel and downtown Cambridge, taking Uber, you know, just hoping my car will be ready one of these days. And then after Christmas, they said, yeah, the supply is finally back open, like at work. And we talked to them, and they said the bearings were shipped, but this guy says, we didn't see anything. Like, we have an after hours drop-off box, kind of like something that locks with, you can only put stuff in, but you cannot take it out, you know, like they have a special drop-off box. He says, we didn't see anything over there, and the supplier is trying to track this package. Like, how hard is it to track a package? And I'm like, track a package? Like, where are you guys sending this from? And that's when he told me that it was sent from Quebec. Anyways, he says, give us a couple of hours, and it was like, you know, dragging on and on and on. And then finally I said, why don't you just buy parts? I'll pay you extra. Buy parts from Ford or try to find them locally. And the guy says, well, I tried to call a few companies over here, but we couldn't find them. You know, it's a new car, so very few people have parts for this. So anyway, I said, now it's been like 6 days or 7 since they had my car. I said, guys, I just gotta draw a line somewhere here, because the New Year holiday is approaching, and again, everybody will shut down for January 1st, right? I said, I already booked a hotel in Florida. I must have this car Thursday, or the latest is Friday. You know, what's today? Today is Thursday, basically tomorrow, right? And that's when they surprised me. They said, we cannot guarantee that the car will be ready. You know what? We'll put it back together and give you the car. And I said, okay, so what about the money? Oh, we're not going to charge you. Since no work was done, we cannot charge you. Now, who does business like that, right? Jeez, you know, if this was my shop and I see a guy anxious, and the guy is driving a Ford Mustang, a 2-door car, you know, 300 horsepower, he's probably into performance, especially when they can hear my exhaust, you know, modified exhaust. I would just, you know, give him the option, you know, like just order from a Ford, you know, a couple $100 more, but like at least I have the car and these guys make money. So instead, they wasted their labor time taking the car apart and then putting it back together. And then I said, okay, when can I pick it up? This was Wednesday, yesterday. They said, tomorrow afternoon, because we already ordered the new seals. I said, guys, don't worry about the seals, because I found I'm going to take it to a different shop probably. Well, you know, the seals are already coming and we won't have anybody before afternoon to finish your car. Okay, so I just walked 500 meters, which is 1/3 of a mile, to Ford dealer. It's called Rich Hill Ford. I'm not lying. It's the same street. You just walk and it's right there, right? And I'm so angry. I go in because, you know, I need my car. Like, I'm tired of walking around, and plus like I said, I booked a hotel in Florida, right? I cannot just walk there or fly. I don't want to spend money on flying. These guys are crazy. And so I went to Ford. I said, guys, here's the deal. I want this and this to be done. I'll give you $2,000 Canadian if you do it before the new year. You know, and that's kind of piqued their interest. You know, that's how you... I don't like BS. You know, I don't like this one. Let us see. Let us track the package. We'll call you back. You know, don't give me this, you know, BS. Like, I hate when they do this. So that's why I go to Ford, I give them my number, that's my budget, $2,000. I need this car done before New Year, right? Okay, so that's kind of like got them excited. They started running around trying to figure out, because of course it's you know, these regular dealers, they don't do that kind of work too often, because I think most people would go to a transmission shop because it's cheaper. But yeah, it's cheaper, but then they're idiots. They don't have parts, you know, especially when it's a new car and it's something serious like this, you know, transmission or rear ends. I find that I will never again go to a small shop, you know. It's better to overpay. Like if I would pay this kind of like higher money to Ford, they would have finished this car like 2 weeks ago, you know, and I would have had it before Christmas. Boy, don't get me started in this automotive industry. And so yeah, Ford says, yeah, we can do it. They found the parts. You know, this girl from service department was running 2 parts and back. They were just making sure that they have the parts, you know. But the big thing is it's Ford. And I said, okay, where's your warehouse? They say Bramalea, which is Brampton, which is 50 kilometers away, 30 miles away, you know. And he says, we order parts, they're here on the next day. And I said, okay, I'll bring you the car tomorrow, which is today. And so then I went to a coffee shop in the morning. I did that video on my main channel, on the trucking channel, about, well, the same channel, sorry, about this minus 24 Celsius, minus 11 F. Somehow I made it to the coffee shop, 2.5 kilometers, 2 miles, I think. 1.6, yeah, just under 2 miles. And then 12 o'clock, I call them. I call these idiots and I say, hey, is my car ready? Can I pick up my car, please? And I'm talking to a girl, you know, like a receptionist, and she does accounting, stuff like that. She answers the phone. And she says, yeah, the car is outside. Let me just double check. She put me on hold, and then she comes back and she says, yeah, they're going to just do a quick road test to make sure everything, you know, make sure the wheels are spinning in the proper direction. Well, just a quick test, and they should be done in 15-20 minutes. And this was 12 o'clock. I said, okay, so I can be there at 12:30, fine? Yeah. Okay, so I start walking. That's another 1/3 of a mile, 500 meters. I'm there. I'm thinking, finally, I'm gonna get my car, you know, and go, you know, to a different shop, right? Like this owner, some old guy, you know. No, I cannot give you the car. I said, what's wrong, sir? I talked to your receptionist over here at 12 o'clock. He just interrupts me. No, I cannot give you the car. It's not tested. I said, she told me it was tested. No, they just went around the street. I cannot do that. I have to go on the freeway. I have to do the proper testing. And he shouts at me, you know. And basically, I lose it already. I said, I need my F car. I'm tired of this BS. And I was not using any abbreviations because, you know, I said, guys, you had my car since December 19th. Right, it's 28th now. You'll have your car. I said, give me the time. When do I come in to pick up my car? 2:30. All right. So I went had lunchtime. You know, it's a good thing that we in Canada don't have guns. And, you know, that's how crimes of passion happen in U.S. I think in U.S. this guy would not last, you know, a week. With the way he does business, I'm telling you, somebody would have shot him in the States. But like I said, we are peaceful people here in Canada. We just try to hide our anger because we don't have guns, right? And so I went, had a lunch, had some steak, you know, and then walked around the mall over there, the shopping center, took some pictures. Still learning my, you know, my new lens over here. I picked up this Tamron 10 to 24 millimeter, and then 2:20 p.m. I go back there, and nobody's there, just the receptionist. Okay, I said, "Is my car ready?" Yeah, she just gives me the keys. Like the owner is gone. Unbelievable. So they didn't charge me any money. Just kept my car for 8 days. I think they probably used it to run some drugs or something. I don't know. But I checked it. I didn't see any damage. I thought they would be angry and do something stupid, you know. No, everything is good. My key lock, you know, wheel nut key is still there. They didn't steal it. I opened the trunk, checked everything. Everything is good. Well, I didn't have any valuables in there anyway. And so I got in my car, drove to Ford, dropped it off, and they said they're gonna call me. They're hoping for Saturday. But you know, Ford is a much bigger shop. They have a lot of mechanics and they can actually work on the Saturday. Whereas these guys, this expert transmission, they closed, I think like 12 o'clock before Christmas. Yeah, like Friday before Christmas, right? And then they didn't work Tuesday. Like a lot of people started working on Tuesday after Christmas. These guys only came back to work on Wednesday. Anyway, I'm so disappointed, but finally I'm happy that something is getting done, you know, at this different shop. Oh, and these guys, of course, they have a shuttle. You know, I said, yeah, can I get a ride? Oh, yeah, sure. So they gave me a ride back to my hotel. Unbelievable. So the level of service, like from what I see now, it's like, as we say in Russia, небо и земля, you know, sky and dirt, sky and ground, like the difference. So I'll post an upgrade about this. I'll do like a road test, and hopefully the car will perform much better, especially going through lights. Like they're gonna be much more acceleration from 0 to, let's say, 60 miles per hour. And as you saw from the diagram on my computer, the RPM will go up at like 75 miles per hour by about what, like 200 RPM, which is exactly what I need. Not too much, not too little, you know. So the fuel economy is still going to be good, but now I won't have to shift all the time between 6 and 5 when I'm on the freeway, when the traffic. Like over here, it's constantly shifting, I would say, between 70 and 80 miles an hour, you know. And at 70, I cannot be in gear 6. It's just the RPM, the whole car like vibrates, you know. So I'm just looking forward to this new setup. And I'll update my ECM again, like do the tuning with the Hypertech. And the trip to Florida that I'm taking on the weekend, it's 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles, should be exciting. Thanks for watching.